نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم عما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي ربنا زدنا علما. This subject is called Al-Hadith An-Nabawi. Al-Hadith An-Nabawi. We need to understand what is the meaning of the name of this subject. What is Al-Hadith? What is An-Nabawi? Now if we look at the breakdown of this subject, Al-Hadith. What is Al-Hadith? Okay, let me rephrase my question. What is the linguistic meaning of the word Hadith? A narration, a report, a story, a conversation, which is either related to the past or the present. It may be true or false, historical or legendary. So this is the linguistic meaning of the word hadith. In terminology, the word hadith refers to the sayings or the actions of any person. The sayings or the actions of any person. But when this word hadith is used in Islam, it has a specific meaning. In other words, in Islamic terminology, the word hadith refers to all that was transmitted from the Prophet ﷺ, of his words, of his actions, and his tacit approvals. What is al-hadith in Islamic terminology? Whatever is transmitted from the Prophet ﷺ, of his words, his actions, and his tacit approvals. And some scholars have also added in the list the characteristics and the traits of the Prophet ﷺ. So this is the meaning of hadith in Islamic terminology. And all of this is written down on the presentation. Okay, what is al-hadith? The linguistic meaning is mentioned here, and so is the meaning in Islamic terminology. Therefore, al-hadith an-nabawi translates into prophetic traditions. An-nabawi is the same word that is from an-nabi. An-nabi means prophet, and therefore al-hadith an-nabawi, the traditions or the narrations of the Prophet ﷺ. Now, Al-Hadith An-Nabawi, this subject constitutes the book Rabbi Zidni Ilma, the book that we're about to study, inshaAllah. And in this book, there are two chapters. Both of the chapters are called Kitabul Ilm. Kitabul Ilm, the chapter on knowledge. So it is a selection of verses and a hadith pertaining to knowledge taken from two different books of hadith. One is Riyadh al-Salihin, and the other is Mishkat al-Masabih. Then the next question arises, why should we study this subject? What are the objectives? What are the aims? Why study Kitab al-Ilm? Number one, to develop an understanding of the excellence and importance of gaining knowledge. So when we study the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, we will learn of the importance of why we should gain knowledge. And not only the importance, but what are the benefits of gaining knowledge? And why should we learn about these aspects? So that we increase in our desire and our love for knowledge. And that will only happen when you read the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ and also the verses of the Quran. Second objective is to study ways by which to live and share what is learned. So whatever you're learning in the book of knowledge, all the narrations, the verses, you will apply them. And the next step is to share them with others as well. To teach the knowledge to others. Now this prompts another question. Why study the hadith? Isn't the Quran sufficient? Why study the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ? Because the hadith explains the Quran. Very good. What else? So if you want to implement the Quran in your life, then read the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. For example, in Surah Taha, the command is given to the Prophet, وَقُلْ رَبِّ زِدْنِي عِلْمًا. How do I act upon this verse? Look at the example of the Prophet ﷺ. What else? Very good. The Quran tells you what to do and the hadith tells you how to do it. In Surah Al-Baqarah, you read about the muttaqeen at the beginning. ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. This book is a guidance for those who have taqwa. And what are the characteristics of those who have taqwa? They believe in unseen. They establish prayer. They give from what Allah has given to them. They believe in the hereafter, but before that, وَالَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِمَا أُنزِلَ إِلَيْكَ. And they believe in what was revealed to you. Who is you referring to? The Prophet ﷺ. So one of the characteristics or the qualities of the muttaqeen is that they believe in whatever was revealed upon him. And what was revealed upon him? Only the Quran? The Quran and the Sunnah, i.e. the hadith. So they believe in both of them. They believe in the Quran and they also affirm the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. And this is one of the reasons why it is important to study the hadith. Another objective of this subject is to be able to correctly read a hadith in Arabic with fluency. So while we're studying the book of knowledge, we'll also practice studying the Arabic words of the Prophet ﷺ and not just the translation. To develop the self-motivation and commitment to persevere in gaining knowledge, another objective. To become familiar with the different books of hadith. As mentioned, this book, Rabbi Zidni Ilma, contains 2 chapters. One is taken from Riyadh al-Salihin and the other is taken from Mishkat al-Masabih. So when we're studying this book and when we reach those chapters, we'll also study about the different methodologies of the authors of those books and also the lives of the authors who have written those books. To learn of the sacrifices made by early scholars. So we will not just study about the Prophet ﷺ and his companions, but also the sacrifices of the earlier generations in the path of knowledge. What did they do? How far did they go? And lastly, to memorize some ahadith. Inshallah, through this subject, we will attempt and try our best to memorize some key ahadith of the Prophet ﷺ.